It started like any other Friday evening. The warm glow of street lamps bathed the sidewalks in golden haze as families poured into the small town's favorite diner, Maggie's Hearth, a local spot known for its retro charm and comfort food. Laughter drifted from booths, silverware clinked softly, and the air smelled of syrup and sizzling burgers. In the middle of it all sat Thomas Reeve, a quiet, tired-eyed man in his late 30s, his flannel shirt slightly wrinkled from a long week of work. Across from him, in a high booster seat, sat his 5-year-old daughter, Lily, her curly hair bouncing as she spooned mac and cheese with delight. To the casual observer, it was just a single father and his daughter enjoying a meal. But for Thomas, this night was meant to be something more, an attempt at reclaiming normalcy. He hadn't been out in weeks. Since his wife's sudden death nearly a year ago, his world had shrunk to school drop-offs, late-night shifts, and long, quiet evenings filled with grief and worry. This dinner was supposed to be a step forward, a small reward for Lily's first full week in kindergarten. She'd been nervous. So had he, but they made it, and they deserved this. But not everyone in that cozy little restaurant saw it that way. It began with whispers. A woman in a pearl gray cardigan leaned toward her husband, eyes flicking toward Thomas and Lily. Her lips curled, barely concealing whatever thoughts brewed beneath her carefully powdered face. Another couple, seated behind them, shifted uncomfortably. A server paused too long near their table, glancing at Lily's slightly stained bib, the stack of napkins Thomas had used to clean up her earlier spill, the well-loved stuffed rabbit perched on the table. Then came the voice, too loud to be an accident. Some people really think they can bring their problems everywhere. Thomas glanced up, unsure if he heard correctly. Lily kept eating, unaware. A beat passed. He returned to his coffee. But then the manager appeared, a man in his 50s, silver hair slicked back, his apron neatly pressed. "Excuse me, sir," he said, his tone coldly formal. "We've had some concerns from other patrons about your presence here." Thomas blinked. "I'm sorry." The manager gestured vaguely to the room. "We try to maintain a certain atmosphere, a dining experience free from distractions or disruptions." "I'm just having dinner with my daughter," Thomas replied, confusion knitting his brow. "There have been complaints that your child is, well, a bit messy. Some customers feel uncomfortable." Thomas turned to Lily. She was mid-giggle, humming a tune while lining up peas along the edge of her plate. Her joy was pure, innocent. "We haven't done anything wrong," he said, trying to keep his voice steady. "I understand, but I'm going to have to ask you to wrap up your meal. To go." The room had fallen silent now. No one looked directly at them, but everyone was watching. Thomas felt his ears burn. He glanced around. No allies, no sympathetic faces. Just a weight of judgment crushing in from every side. He stood up slowly. "Fine," he said, scooping Lily's things into a bag. "We'll go." Lily looked up, puzzled. "Daddy, why are we leaving?" Thomas crouched beside her, keeping his voice calm. "It's okay, sweetie. We're just going to take our food home." She frowned. "But I like it here." "I know," he said, his throat tightening. "Me too." They walked out, heads turned away, pretending not to notice. The bell above the door chimed as it closed behind them. Outside, the night had grown colder. Thomas buckled Lily into her booster seat in the car, trying to keep his composure. What he didn't know, what no one inside the restaurant knew, was that at a corner table near the window, partially hidden by a hanging fern, a young woman had been recording the entire exchange on her phone. She'd watched it all. The whispers, the stares, the embarrassment, the quiet dignity with which Thomas carried his daughter out. Her name was Mara, and she was visiting her parents for the weekend. A teacher, an advocate for children, and more importantly, a human being who recognized injustice when she saw it. The video hit the internet that same night. It wasn't edited. No dramatic music. No flashy transitions. Just raw footage of a man and his daughter being quietly exiled from a place that claimed to serve families. The caption was simple. Asterisk, this is how a single dad was treated at a local restaurant tonight. Watch closely. Then ask yourself, what would you have done? Asterisk. By morning, It had been shared over 200,000 times. The reactions were immediate and furious. Comments flooded in, some offering support, others expressing disbelief. Asterisk, this broke my heart. He did nothing wrong. Asterisk, asterisk, why didn't anyone say something? Asterisk, asterisk, I'm a single parent too. This hit hard. Asterisk, news outlets picked it up within 48 hours. The restaurant was identified. Its social media pages were overwhelmed with reviews, messages, and calls for accountability. People wanted answers, apologies. But Thomas, unaware of the firestorm brewing online, spent that morning making pancakes for Lily and trying to forget the incident. He didn't have a Twitter account. He wasn't on Facebook. The most digital interaction he had was checking school emails. It was only when his neighbor, Mrs. Haverly, an elderly woman who often watched Lily when Thomas worked late, knocked on his door, phone in hand, her eyes wide, that he learned the truth. "Thomas," she said, voice trembling with a mix of outrage and awe, "you need to see this." He watched the video once. Then again, his hand went to his mouth. That's us." She nodded. "It's gone viral." His phone began to ring. Calls from unknown numbers. Voicemails from journalists. Messages asking for interviews. Thomas declined them all. "I didn't ask for this," he told Mrs. Haverly. "I just wanted a nice dinner with my daughter." But the story wasn't just about him anymore. It had become a symbol of the quiet struggle single parents face, of how easily society forgets kindness when discomfort whispers in its ear.